So the Vice President visit, what it signals is continued high-level engagement between the two countries. If you recall, when the Indian Prime Minister had visited Washington in February this year, he was the fourth foreign leader to be invited by U.S. President. There was the Prime Minister of Israel, King of Jordan, Prime Minister of Japan, and then the Prime Minister of India. The Indian Foreign Minister was one of the invitees to the inauguration of the U.S. President. And the first multilateral meeting that the newly confirmed Secretary of State did was of the Quad Foreign Ministers. And the first bilateral meeting he had was with the Indian Foreign Minister. So it is part of that continued high-level engagement between the two countries that the Vice President has visited India. And the Vice President and Indian Prime Minister had also met in Paris on the margins of the Artificial Intelligence Summit that had taken place there in February. So I think the effort is through this engagement to signal both to officials in US, in India, to the wider public, that both leaders and governments value this relationship and want to take it forward. So it is in the framework of that the Vice President's office announced that the terms of reference of the bilateral trade agreement have been finalized. Negotiators are involved in intense discussions. The Indian Commerce Minister had gone to US. The Assistant USTR trade representative was in India. Now a senior official, Indian official, is going to be in US later this week. So I think the target they have set for themselves is with the fall of this year, with the autumn, by when the US President is expected to visit India for the Quad Summit. So that's the timeline that has given.
So the timing could be serendipitous. Just on your point, Ambassador, about high-level engagement and the timing of a BTA and coinciding with, ultimately, President Trump's visit, Defense Secretary Hegseth may be the next ranking Trump administration official to visit India, and then President Trump himself is expected to visit later this year, coinciding with the Quad Security Alliance talks. Is all of this pointing towards India as the preferred and preeminent strategic US partner in the Asia-Pacific region, and really highlighting its role effectively as the China offset?
So I think the US has many important partnerships in the region. The US has a strong partnership with Japan, a strong partnership with Australia, strong partnership with South Korea. But India is among the important partnerships that the US is projecting for itself in the region, with which it wants to deepen the partnership even further. And I think there is a recognition in the US that it is facing a major technological challenge from China. And for the US to maintain its global lead in innovation, India will be an important partner for the United States. Today, for example, there are 1,800 what are described as global capability centers in India. These are doing cutting-edge R&D and technology development work and supporting the global operations of multinational companies, not just their India operations. So I think keeping that, for example, if you look at semiconductors, 20% of the global talent in semiconductor design is based in India. So there is a sense that the India partnership is useful for the US as it wants to maintain its global leadership in innovation. And again, India gains also from this partnership. So I think it is in that framework that both countries are looking at deepening their economic investment partnership. And, US is the largest foreign investor in India. But interestingly, Indian companies have invested more than $40 billion in the US economy and have presence across all 50 states. So there's a very deep partnership. 40% of generics in the US are provided by Indian pharmaceutical companies.